Good afternoon or good early evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin String coming at you from my deck, and it is starting to get cooler. In fact, tonight the low will be below 40 degrees. So I just switched a couple of my pots. I discovered this little thing has two plants in there. I had put a nub of ginger in there, but nothing came of that. So there's two little things in there. So I have resumed watering this container, so I've switched it for one that is now down there that has nothing in it. And what I don't want to do, although I wouldn't do it at this time of the day because there's still a little bit of light, but I'll demonstrate it. But before I do that, I'll give you an update on my squashes. This thing has gotten bigger, and this one has started to develop. This flower actually opened up. I wasn't sure if it would, and I got a couple other buds here. But some of these other leaves are dying. I have picked a couple of completely dead ones off, and I'm picking off any dead things. So I have 3 towels here. My cilantro seeds are starting to turn the color that you expect to see of coriander seed. Those are green, but some of these have started to turn that golden color. There's still some leaves on here, but I am completely letting this go to seed. And this thing here, it's just all leaves, but I have an unknown plant in there, and this thing, I pulled the other 2 out. Whatever the heck, it looks like a super thick blade of grass. I pulled the one out that was in my aeolium, and I pulled another one out that was in another pot. And this was supposed to be just one of my greens, but I think it's turning into a tree. Same with this thing, but anyway. And these are my 2 onions that are left. They have started to flop, and these things are so long that they're getting so heavy that I've had to turn it a little. I turned this pot so I could maybe let this plant support it, and then this rack. But since it is going to be getting cold, like below 40 degrees Fahrenheit tonight, there's also another little unknown plant in there. I originally had tomatoes in there, but they didn't do squat. But when I water the onions, I'm watering this, but this one really surprised me. Well, they both did, even the red one, because I thought these were not going to do anything, but well, they have really went for it. But because it is going to get cold tonight, and I don't know how well the onions deal with cold weather, and because these have already started to flop over, I mean, this one is pretty much dead right here anyway, so I just may go ahead and pull these onions out and weigh them. I want to see how big they've gotten anyway. But before I do that, while I do have the light, I'm going to show you how I have covered these before to protect these plants that are probably more vulnerable to the cold. So what I'm going to do, this is my longest towel. I drape it over here, and it does not bother my aeolium to have it on top of it, and it doesn't bother the squash. One of these petals, I guess I'll call it a petal, did break off of it, but I just broke it in half and dropped it in my compost bucket. Everything that falls off that I pick off goes into the compost bucket. But I got this long towel I will drape over here so it covers these. So I will pause this and I'll show you what it looks like. So there, I have that covered. So it covers the pots. May not cover the base of the pots, but it covers the pots. And then these two towels I drape over here to kind of cover up this stem, which is still coming out of this popcorn bucket. And it still has the supports that I've originally put on it. So I'll pause that and I'll show you what that looks like. So that is what that looks like. It covers most of that. Now if I do have a little bit of leaf loss, it's just supposed to be in the upper 30s Fahrenheit. So we have had a first frost already. But after that, it's supposed to warm back up again, so the lows will be in 40s and upper 40s and 50s. And now what I will do is I'll pause it here. I'll go ahead and pull these onions. I'm going to pull the red one first. Well, it didn't get any bigger, but I got all these onion tops. So I thought this one would get bigger, but it's the original size. And it's pretty soft. Now this one, well, I thought it would be a lot bigger too. It did double in size. And look at the length of these things. But nevertheless, I am happy with at least that these did work. Again, I will take these inside. I will cut this because I will dehydrate these, and I'll cut them up into smaller pieces so it'll be easier to weigh, and I'll weigh these all together. So anyway, I'll go inside and we'll get that done. Okay, I am back inside. I cleaned off the dirt and I separated the green parts from the bulbs. Now this one still feels quite soft. I don't know how much of it I can save, but you know, I'm going to go ahead and turn my scale on. And I thought this one would actually be bigger. It looked like it was going to start to split, so it looked like a double. So I'll put this one on first. .4 ounces. Add this little guy. It adds 1/10 of an ounce. I think it's the red of this. 2.8 ounces. So by the time I get rid of the outer layers of these, it'll probably be like 2.5 ounces. So that will be it for these. So I will go ahead and clean these up, and then I will get these in the fridge to be cut up, and I will dehydrate all of this. So that is a little 2-for-1 today. So anyway, thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.